Media Watch gets into the groove now with Madonna. Well, she's not here. We have got James Creedon, though, to talk about Madonna. She's called on the public, her public, if you like, to vote Barack Obama, but it's not as straightforward as that, is it?
No, it's not. This was at a concert in Washington, D.C. last night. I think we have some of the pictures here. She was talking to the crowd. She spoke for about 3 or 4 minutes about how wonderful Obama is. She spoke about various liberators in the past, such as Martin Luther King, and the freedom that we now benefit from as US citizens, etc., etc. And then she made a rather strange appeal for people to vote for the profile that we now have in the White House. Let's take a listen to what she said.
Did she just say a black Muslim in the White House?
She did, and the
Barack
thing
Obama's
is,
not a Muslim.
He's not a Muslim, and 18% of Americans already think he's a Muslim, and this is, of course, some fear-mongering that has gone on in the past. Not that there would be anything wrong with him being a Muslim.
No, there isn't.
As Madonna pointed out in her clarification, she said she was being ironic. Now, the thing is,
okay.
I find that hard to believe, because if you look at the sequence, we didn't show you immediately what she said afterwards because it involved some swear words, but she doesn't correct herself. She doesn't make it apparent that she's joking, right? So I do wonder myself if she wasn't trying to be controversial in order to create a buzz, and then very quickly correct herself, and in the meantime, fools like me end up talking about it and creating the buzz that is exactly what she wanted. So we fell into her trap. Sorry about that.
Yeah, but she's been manipulating people like us for a long time, James Creedon.
Well, there's another example, a French example, going back to July of this year. You'll remember this, Mark. It was when she put a swastika on Marine Le Pen.
Oh, this is a cracker, wasn't it?
That's right. And that elicited threats of being sued, etc. And indeed, the Front National, the right-wing part, the far-right party here, did threaten to sue her, and it generated lots of headlines. So she's very good at creating buzz. And I wonder if sometimes it's not a little bit premeditated. No proof, but it is my speculation that it might be.
The tail shaking the dog, you might say.
That's
We're
it.
the dog and we're being shaken.
That's it.
Okay, let's move on. What's more damaging for a US candidate? Madonna support or that of Francois Hollande? That's the next question James is going to struggle with.
Now, he was over in New York yesterday, probably still is, Francois Hollande, at the UN General Assembly. He answered some questions, and one journalist said, "Who do you support, Monsieur Hollande? Do you support Romney or do you support Obama?" And Hollande actually has a pretty good sense of humour. He's good at, he's quick off the mark, as they say. And he said, "Are you aware that Mitt Romney never ceases to attack socialist Europe at his campaign rallies? Yes, that's why I'll be careful not to say anything at all, because if a socialist were to support one of these two candidates, it would be very bad news and would cost them dearly." He's right about that. I don't think either candidate would benefit from, certainly Romney wouldn't. So he said, "So I suppose I should endorse Mitt Romney." But then he took it back. So he was being playful.
He was being post-ironic.
He was being post-ironic. So there you go. He knows well that Romney would not want that support. And so he sort of gave it without giving it fully, if you like.
Okay, so if he's not post-ironic, Charlie Hebdo, the satirical magazine here in Paris, has been somewhat post-ironic with its 2 editions that it's published.
That's right. Now, we remember
2 front pages, should we say.
That's right. And we remember last week, this is a headline in one of the Canadian media where Mohammed cartoons prompt France to shut embassies. They put in their magazine, in their weekly newspaper, cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad. It created a big scandal.
So
People
just
said,
depicting Muhammad, of course, offends many Muslims because
right.
in the Quran it says you shouldn't.
That's
there we
right.
go.
And the criticism was that they were trying to sell copy and being overly controversial. Here's what they've done this week, because they were accused of pouring oil on top of a fire, or what's the expression? By
pouring oil on fire.
Pouring oil on fire. So here we have...
It works in English and in French.
Right. Here we have a front page where they had the irresponsible newspaper, and in one hand you've got a guy, a Stone Age man, who has just invented humour with oil and fire, and then you have the responsible version of the paper with nothing on it at all. So they actually had 2 editions, you can see it there, 2 editions that went on sale for the first time ever, to drive home the point by showing that if you are trying to be responsible, the cost is 0 humour at all. So sometimes, if you're being a little bit irresponsible, that's the price to pay for humour, and we're perhaps taking ourselves a little bit too seriously. That's
there is no
Charlie
point
Hebdo's
praising if you can't criticise. I think that's the Beaumarchais quote, which is quite famous in French. James Creedon with Media Watch. Thank you very much indeed. Stay with us. We'll be back with more news, some sport and some culture in a few moments.